News Report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Democrat incumbent Bob Casey is conceding Pennsylvania Senate election to Republican Dave McCormick. In a video posted on social media, Casey said he had called McCormick to congratulate him on his victory. President-elect Trump has chosen former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi as his new pick for Attorney General after Matt Gaetz withdrew. Trump announced on Truth Social that Bondi will refocus the DOJ on fighting crime and making America safe again. Heavy rain and potential floods are impacting Northern California and the Pacific Northwest as a bomb cyclone is combining with an atmospheric river. The storms are also causing strong winds and mountain snow in parts of the region. And turkey and several other Thanksgiving items like pumpkin pie mix, frozen peas, and sweet potatoes will be cheaper this year. Turkey prices have dropped by about 6%. However, processed items like stuffing, cranberries, and dinner rolls are expected to cost more. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
New Schools for New Orleans, along with Allstate Sugar Bowl and Entergy New Orleans, would like to send a huge congratulations to our class of 2024 New Orleans Excellence in Teaching Award honorees. This year, we had 90 Teachers of the Year from each public school in New Orleans. Each of them was recognized at our annual gala, where we had over 350 attendees. We're excited to also share that each honoree is receiving a $1,000 classroom grant. Thank you for everything you do, teachers.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
Wake up, New Orleans. Dr. White, OT, Naren on the box, early bird flying around
Somewhere.
trying to find a nest with some insulation, but it ain't that cold.
Feels really good outside.
And it really does.
Yes.
Well, no, it feel real good with you being inside. I know where you
Yes,
was
indeed.
last
I was in the trenches. I was outside. I slept out.
well,
It was really nice, though.
night. God bless you.
It was really nice.
It really was, all right?
It was. And I actually went to sleep.
Yeah.
I might have been the first person to go to sleep, but I went to sleep.
You was knocked out?
I was knocked out.
Well, I went there, explained my experience when I did that, and went on.
And they had me thinking you were going to sleep. I was so excited about that.
You
I
ain't
was
see
like,
that suit
they
I had
showed
on,
up.
huh?
When I saw you, I knew you weren't
All
sleeping.
right.
But they had your little thing on the ground.
Uh-huh.
They had your name on it. I'm
Yeah.
like, OT sleeping.
Yeah. No, I would, look, that's why I say, hey, look, I know what it's like to sleep on the floor. I know what it's like to sleep in the shelter, but Allie was with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Covenant House and
Covenant House,
Executive
yeah,
Director
Miss
Renisha Robertson
Miss
for putting
Robertson.
on an amazing
Yeah.
event. The food was great.
Oh, always.
The breakfast was good.
Uh-huh.
The folk, it was good
Yeah.
energy out there. It was
Yeah.
a lot of people too.
Yeah,
So,
it really was.
Yeah.
And to raise almost $300,000
Yes.
when I left, that was really, really, really
And
big.
rising.
And rising.
because the window is still open for the
Yeah.
next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So if you
and
want to
rising.
still donate, you have time
reach
to
that
donate.
$600,000 goal.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Good,
so it
good
was good.
cause.
Yes, it was.
That was your first time sleeping
My very
outside?
first time. I think I'm gonna do it next year too because the experience wasn't. You know how you think about what it's going to be,
Uh-huh.
and then you do it and it's something different.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
You got to bring a little crew with you next time.
Listen, I'm gonna have to get my team, get
Yeah.
everybody like y'all gonna have to come out here
Yeah.
and do this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's next time you get your list. And you know what? Get your list.
You got to do it next year.
Yeah, you going to get your team
WBOK
together?
need to have a team. Yeah, that's what's up.
That's right.
Come on, Troy.
That's
Rally
right.
the troops, all y'all.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Ooh.
Troy got to take off a
Way
good shirt.
powerful, yeah, with the big nigga, get the big Negro. Ooh. The big, we go, oh, yeah. But anyway, hey, look, I'm not leaving you out alone. It's 8 minutes past the top of the hour. You got your wish.
Did I?
You manifested Gates
Out of there.
resigning, being
Out of
kicked
there.
out of there.
Uh-huh. Now I'm
Gone,
now I'm working on Linda.
Now you working on the rest of
Yeah, she need to go DDT herself in somebody else's business,
Uh-huh.
not our children's. She gotta go.
Oh my goodness.
She gotta go. She could go put the smack down somewhere else, not at the Department of Education. She
No.
gotta go.
No.
Yeah, she gotta go. So hopefully, this starts a domino
Right.
effect,
Yeah.
right? But see, I really think he stepped down to protect the hive, right? Because you don't want them reports to be, because Marjorie Taylor Greene said, if we gonna show his, she want to see them all.
Want to see them all.
So do you think he bit the
Right.
bullet to
Right.
protect the hive?
Yeah. It's like Harold X said in the show I did with him. He said, "If you're gonna tell it,
Tell it
Tell it
all.
all.
Yeah, like what's half the story? I want to get to the good part. I want it all.
oh,
So yeah,
man.
I need Linda to go because here's the thing, Mac. They were able to connect him to the payments to these young girls. So these allegations, are more than likely true about him having, sexual contact with these young girls, right? As they're alleging in the national media. But Linda McMahon and her husband are also under investigation, for unscrupulous behavior. So I mean, come
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah. The power of thought, and it didn't fit. And I'm not one to, if someone wants to hire a person, if the resume is close, right? Or if the background check is close. But that was just so out of whack.
Just off.
With that one.
You don't have to check every single box
Yeah,
because
you
maybe the
don't
box
have to.
you don't have checked, you can grow in that area.
Or have someone.
But when you
understand.
totally, you're not
When
even
you-
in the same book.
Yeah, when you the plumber and you over the electrical division, yeah.
Burn the whole house down there, right?
No.
Because you gonna flush the
Yeah.
toilet and the lights gonna flash.
Yeah,
That's what's gonna
when
happen.
you the electrician and you over the carpenter department, which is what happens in government too often.
No, we can't have
Y'all.
it.
But happy Friday.
We made it.
To y'all. Fall Friday. It's a little. No, I don't want to say fall. I don't like that word.
You don't like that word?
What's the F to go with Friday?
It could be fantastic. It could be fabulous. It could be fearless. What?
Let's put fantastic and fabulous together.
Okay.
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous. Okay.
Yeah. Fantabulous.
One thing about black folk, we gonna make up some words.
Yeah.
And we understand them, so nobody else don't have to understand them.
I like my auntie. I learned it that, and that's learned. That's from my,
in case you didn't catch it.
Yeah, that's from my auntie.
Uh-huh.
My auntie Geraldine. I learned that from one of my cousins. But back in the late 70s was when we started putting words together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And one of my little cousins, I ain't gonna say his name, he put everybody's name together to name his first child.
We do that.
Yeah.
What? I mean, my nephew. I have a new nephew.
Jackanika, Jamala, Irina, Gloria.
I have a new nephew. He's a few months old. His name is Da Vinci. My brother's name is Vincent, and his girlfriend's name
Da
is
Vinci's,
Dejanay.
but Da Vinci's, that's a good name.
It's
though.
Da Vinci,
Yeah,
but it's a merging of her name and his name
yeah, but
together.
that worked.
That worked, and
but
he's so handsome.
Not the one that my cousin did.
It made sense
he
for
put his
him. It works
name
for him.
He put his name.
Oh, we have a new nominee, Oliver.
His old lady name.
We already have a new nominee for Attorney General.
Yeah. Former Florida Attorney General Bondi. She fits though.
Pam Bondi.
Yeah, she fits.
Mm.
She fits with them. She's she don't have Gates seethy background, but in terms of ideology, she's a diehard Trumper.
Oh yeah. Well, look at the language. She's an America First fighter. That's dog whistle language.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to be expected. Pam Bondi. So now,
well, let me say this though. I've been doing my own independent study, right? And we've had so many people attacked by foreign nationals in terms of like this young African American man who was killed by folk who had extreme criminal backgrounds who weren't from here.
yeah.
Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
About that. So you a murderer and a rapist in your country, but we allow you to be one here.
Yeah.
And they know that when the background comes up.
Yeah.
That has to stop.
I think all of the trickery of politics has to stop because we allow certain things because it fits an agenda that we can then waive, to talk about how ill prepared the other side is to handle certain things. And then miraculously, when you take over, certain stuff starts to kind of dissipate. You know what I mean? So for me, my bigger than what you're talking about right now is the domestic terrorism that happens in this country that they don't want to call domestic terrorism. Because you could talk about inner city violence all you want. We'll give you that it's happening, right?
Yeah.
But when you're going to talk about domestic terrorism with these school shootings,
Well, that was
so for me,
Oklahoma City.
we have to address that.
McVeigh. I mean,
Why aren't kids safe in our schools in this
yeah,
country?
Yeah, Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Well, that was the same thing. you see, I'm glad I get to do this role here with you,
Mhm.
right? Because to me, it is different. And I know folk try to force me into being the councilman a lot of times when I
No,
did.
but you're not the councilman here.
But
From 7 to
I,
9.
I was. You can ring the bell, Doc. I was thinking that, right, at a press conference about the
Mhm.
shooting and watching the media do the mass shooting thing, right, and stuff, especially when something happens in Chicago
Yeah.
or in New Orleans or South Central LA,
Yes.
or Harlem in New York, parts of D.C., but you don't continue to attach it to what happens in Maine
Nope.
or Florida
Nope.
or Texas,
By
or
design.
some of those places. And it is almost like, and I watched the media report, and for our listening audience, guys, I don't want to seem facetious when I say this, but it's only because I really pay attention to it, right? Man, I've been watching my people, 3, 4 of my people get shot down for decades.
Mhm. Well, I just
For
learned
decades.
that they consider it to be masked for as little as 4
It's
people.
4 people now.
So
And I'm
that's
like,
what
that ain't
I
nothing new.
learned.
That ain't
Yeah,
nothing
we've
new.
seen that.
Yeah.
The gas. Remember we
One
had
of
the
most
gas
famous
station
mass
shootings.
killings happened where you grew up.
Yeah. Yep. Algiers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that ain't
Yep.
that's not anything new, and it's just disappointing to me when the press seems to, right. First of all,
Shape the narrative.
yeah, that's
Because
why
you
why I
got to
went-
go to work after this.
that's why-
This is my
yeah.
job.
That's why I'm with an educator.
Yeah, because the problem then becomes
Shape
if we're
the
talking
narrative.
accountability,
To shape the narrative.
if we talking accountability, then we have to
Mm-hmm.
tell the truth about all of the issues so that we
Right.
can, because if it's really about violence, then you talk about violence. You don't try to isolate certain violence and put it up, but you're hiding the other violence. Like let's talk about violence, how to fix it.
I'm gonna get in trouble with this, but I gotta do it. Because this is OT, the host, your host,
Mm-hmm.
your partner, your little partner. It is almost like sometimes when I watch the news or the press, it's almost like they really want to say, 10 more got shot today.
And let's act as let's
But
not
we gonna
act
call it a
as
mass shooting.
my thing is if this
Am I
is
wrong
about
for that?
no, you're
Thinking
not.
that?
I don't think this is talk radio. We're supposed to
Mhm.
talk about the issues, right? Some folk have to learn to detach the councilman from the
Mhm.
radio personality because
10
from
more got shot
from
today.
7 to 9, your job,
y'all.
your role here is to talk about the issues.
That's what I think the press want to say. Again, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what do we call it when it's not that though? So then what do we say?
Oh,
Some fine, upstanding citizens were shot today. What do we call it?
little.
We have to do something
little
about the
buddy,
violence.
Little buddy had a mental health meltdown.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
His parents.
The media has to take some onus though, Oliver, because when you think about it, like we could even use Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Let's talk about him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When he did what he did, they didn't go find a picture of him smoking marijuana or smoking a cigarette or pulling a head off a cat or anything. They went and found.
Wait,
I'm just saying,
Hold
like
on,
they go find the most
hold on,
dangerous,
stop,
menacing looking
stop.
pictures.
Wait.
You know he had to kill a couple of cats for practice. Now don't act like you don't
He was
know.
practicing.
They practice on animals before they start practicing on people. I guarantee he had drawings somewhere where he was decapitating cats.
Doc said,
Come on now.
but Doc said pulling
Pulling heads off the cat. Yes. Boiling rabbits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
something else.
I'm
yeah.
just being honest.
But
But when it was Trayvon Martin, they went and found the picture with the hoodie,
Right.
trying to make him look menacing. You know what I mean?
Skittles was a code for something evil.
Yeah, and they let George Zimmerman sign Skittle bags at a meet and greet,
Yeah.
and you didn't think that was too far past acceptable?
And the moral of the story is, and that's why we're intentional about what we do here.
Big picture. We won't talk
Yeah.
about it all.
And because the mainstream media needs to be intentional about how they do it and how they portray it. You do shape the narrative.
You absolutely do. Even when you come in our communities and you find
do
the
shape
one
the
person
narrative.
on a sidewalk
one,
watching
don't-
with the bonnet on, and then you go put the camera in her face to talk to her. That lady didn't come out there dressed to talk to the press. But when you go in a different community, it's almost like you cherry pick the Tulane professor whose face you don't want to show, so you're gonna show a silhouette of her on the ground, and she could talk about the issues in a straightforward, concise way. You're playing with us.
I tell people, God
Don't do it.
God don't make no mistake.
Don't do it.
My first experience in watching the press when I came back home, and I was a research assistant at City Hall, was that time there was an issue on Poydras,
Mm-hmm.
and it was me, a couple of young attorneys, young women, but African American,
Yeah.
and the press. I think it was Fox 8 was looking out there with their camera crew about what had happened, or what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
On my mama, and I don't even like to say that, y'all, on my mama. Reporter walked right by us with the camera person, made a homeless guy, black guy, stand up, and they interviewed him.
Instead of y'all.
Yeah, with us standing right
Yeah.
next to him.
Because
True
there's
story.
because you're pushing an agenda, and here's the thing. I'm not knocking the lady in the bonnet that they want to interview,
no.
but she didn't come out there prepared to talk to the
No.
press. You saw her and you asked her because you knew what the moment you were looking for, right? You don't have to do that. I don't even like the fact that they try to interview families with their dead loved ones barely in a car in the van. Them folk can't even put together a cohesive sentence,
right
and you want a
there.
story?
Yeah. Right now.
Respect the grief.
Right now. Blood
Right
still
now.
warm.
Respect the grief.
That's a whole nother thought. But hey, man, we're going to talk to Bishop Delbert Robinson, man, the Grady St. Stephen's, man, young man on fire, not just with turkey giveaways, but what he's doing with the word. That ultimately, man, if you've heard Bishop Robinson speak, man, he's just such a wonderful servant of the Lord, and especially in his ability to motivate many of our young men and many in this community. Looking forward to that conversation. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Bishop T. Delbert Robinson, Grady St. Stephen's, back after the break. WBOK 1230 a.m.
What New Orleans is talking about?
Whose station?
Your station,
You know,
Oliver.
You know it's our station.
Norman Robinson is back,
Can you hear me now?
and he's taking no prisoners.
Can you hear me now?
Each weekday, Norman Robinson brings you commentary with Off the Top.
The incident was shocking, disturbing, disgusting, disappointing, and sad.
Each weekday, Off the Top with Norman Robinson is heard exclusively right here.
It's Off the Top with Norman Robinson on WBOK 1230 a.m.
NOLA Public Schools' main round enrollment for kindergarten through 12th grade is now open. With 73 schools available through the NOLA Public Schools Common Application Process, or NCAP, finding the right school fit for your family is easier than ever. List up to 12 choices to maximize your chances and apply by January 24th. We're all in, and we hope you are too. Apply today at enrollnolaps.com. That's enrollnolaps.com.
Are you passionate about community safety and police accountability? Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Get the facts and stay informed. We're breaking down complex issues, highlighting community voices, and holding people behind the badge accountable. Join us for an informative hour every Friday at noon on WBOK. Your city, your police, your show. The Monitor's Mic.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana communities through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, please visit us at www.jazzandheritage.org.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060. New Orleans, get ready for Inspire Fest. Join us on December 7th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at McDonough 35 High School for a day of family, fun, music, and a chance to learn more about Inspire NOLA schools, the highest performing open enrollment schools in the city. Enjoy live performances by Tanya Boyd Cannon, Brassaholics, and BJ So Cole. Bring the family, enjoy the entertainment, and see what makes Inspire NOLA different. Don't miss this unforgettable day. Find out more at inspirenolaschools.org.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
Back, and man, let's welcome to the show Bishop T. Delvin Robinson of Greater St. Stephen. Welcome to the Good Morning Show, young man.
Good morning. How are you, Councilman, my brother?
Man, if me and Doc was any better, we'd be you. If nothing else, we know you floating in on heaven, right?
I know that's right. And good morning to you, Dr. Wyatt.
Good morning, Bishop. How are you?
All is well. I have no valid complaints.
So Bishop, tell us, man, how's the family doing? How are you doing? And before we get into this effort and this event, what are you guys planning for the holiday season?
Oh, wow. We have, believe it or not, as busy as we are, we have a quiet family holiday time, and I'm looking forward to it. Plenty of food, a lot of laughter, a lot of fun, just taking a good, healthy Sabbath away from what we do on a regular basis, which is church. So everybody is doing well. All is well. Co-Pastor Jasmine is doing great. I mean, God is good,
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
And all the time. No doubt about it. So tell us about this event. How did it come to be, and what can we expect at this major this Thanksgiving giveaway?
Well, the Thanksgiving giveaway really is Greater St. Stephen's time to really focus in and hone in on being a blessing to the community with so much food disparity and insecurity throughout the land, and particularly in New Orleans and New Orleans East. Everybody is not set up to be as blessed, to be able to sit down to a decent meal. And so that's the motivation behind it. We just really want to be a blessing to some people, non-perishable items. We have a great supply, but of course, for those that are coming, it's free, and it's while supplies last.
So in what ways does this event embody the mission and values of Greater St. Stephen Ministries, especially during the holiday season?
Well, I mean, that's a great question, and it's so relevant. First of all, the kingdom of God is centered around being helpful to those who are in need, assisting and partnering, and that really embodies our vision and our focus, especially in this year. We've coined this term and phrase, and it's biblical in scope, but it's really, really broad that we're able to say it's go time. And so we're going everywhere, spreading the message of faith, love, and hope that Jesus gives us. And this is a part of that outreaching message because for some people, a decent meal on the table, that's a blessing in and of itself.
So are there any opportunities for people to get involved, such as like maybe donating or to volunteer for this Thanksgiving giveaway?
Well, we always welcome volunteers. All you have to do is really simply just give our church a call, and it will really be a blessing if those in the community that have that time could be a part of the community. I mean, it would really, really, really help. Not only that, we also have donation bins at our church, whereby you could stop by and bring items, dry good items, you know. We don't want scope for stuffing dinners and all of those kind of things. We want canned good items, things that people can benefit from, not just at Thanksgiving, but throughout the year.
So what impact have you seen the Thanksgiving giveaway have on the community? It's like, tell us about some of your most memorable moments from past events.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I like when people say, oh, my goodness, it's about to get gooder, Oliver.
Oh, it's about to get more gooder. Go ahead, Bishop.
I'm telling you. When we hit the holiday season, it's cars upon cars upon cars. I mean, we have a pretty good crowd on Sunday morning, but that amount of cars that's lined up to get into Greater and get blessed, I'm telling you, it's wrapped all around the parking lot. People are on the street. In fact, if you go to our social media page, it reflects. You just go back to the last Thanksgiving, and there are even clips from the last Thanksgiving that are there right now that shows you Reed Boulevard is jam-packed with people coming to get blessed. And then co-pastor and I, we come out and we are even able to distribute to some people. People ask for prayer. Bishop and Pastor D are there with us. We have a whole team that supports us to make it happen. It's really, really phenomenal to see and be a part of.
Listen, I don't know if people know this, but I am a huge PJ Morton fan, right? And we know that there's like a book signing happening for PJ. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, absolutely. If you want to get in on this book signing, my suggestion is you make your way to Greater St. Stephen on Thanksgiving morning, because it's going to bless you. It's going to bless you. 9 a.m. And then immediately, in fact, Pastor D is preaching at 9 a.m. And immediately following the service, we have an organized effort to bring my brother-in-law, New Orleans' own, son of Greater St. Stephen, son of the one and only Bishop Paul S. Morton and Dr. Deborah B. Morton. He's going to be pushing his new book Saturday night, Sunday morning. And you should know a lot can happen on Saturday night, but a whole lot can happen on a Sunday morning.
And if you're not familiar, we're talking about 5-time Grammy Award winner PJ Morton. Yes.
5 times. Yes,
5-time
indeed.
Grammy Award winning New Orleans' own PJ Morton. Yes, sir. So how did the collaboration with PJ Morton come about, and what does it mean for the ministry to have such a prominent artist engaged with the community in this way?
How did the collaboration come about?
How did it come about? I mean, we know that's his daddy over there. we know that's his mama over there. But you know, it's hard to get son or no son. It's hard to get a 5-time Grammy Award winner to come on Thanksgiving morning to do anything, especially in his home city. You know what I mean? It's hard when people make it to a certain level. It's hard to get them back home. But I love the fact that PJ loves New Orleans and he gives himself to New Orleans. So how did this collaboration come about?
The collaboration is real good and easy. I'm married to his beautiful, one of his one, and well, she's not one and only because he has 2 sisters. But I said, wife, and she said, what? I said, come on now. We got to get bro to come in the house and bring that book. The collaboration really is family all the way around, and that's what Thanksgiving is about for us. It's about family. 5-time Grammy Award winner is proving to you that it's family over 5 times. That's why he's coming out to make it happen. And again, I want to encourage all that can and will. Now, you got to get in there because the books are going to go fast, and it is while supplies last. This is not necessarily a photo op per se. This is one of those once-in-a-lifetime moments where you are going to get a freshly signed, autographed copy of your own Saturday night, Sunday morning. So that's the collab in short. Yeah, it's mom, it's dad, it's Jay, it's everybody, but more than anything, it's PJ saying yes to coming home to New Orleans, yes to Greater St. Stephen. It's just a big family affair.
Well, let me tell you something, Bishop. If PJ don't have a hype man, you might want to put your name in the hat, because you sure make me want to get up early and come see about that book.
Man, yeah, but man, PJ.
Now, let me tell you all this too.
PJ's so cool.
Now, if you come to service at 9 a.m., you may get a little serenade too. You may
Hey, look,
you never know what can happen at Greater.
Bishop Robinson make it happen now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He will definitely make it happen. So talk about the Christmas lighting. And, a couple of y'all members, Miss Eva and a few others I had met with some time ago, man, that really want to see that strip lit up, similar to what they do downtown. And I think it's absolutely an awesome idea. We've been talking about it I know they've been talking about, members of your church been talking about for quite some time.
Yeah.
But talk about the lighting ceremony and how we're getting closer to actually making sure the East has the same kinds of celebrations, right? The lighting there, the lighting at Joe Brown. We're getting there, and it's gonna be a full display at some point. Go ahead, Bishop.
I'm about to tell you, young people be talking about getting lit. We are going to light Reed Boulevard up. That's the goal. That's the goal. It's not just the slaying of getting lit, but that really bringing a light to the East is everything. When I first came here a couple of years ago, I participated in a prayer walk. And one of the things that I was praying as we walked throughout the East, because we covered significant ground, is that really that the Lord would release angels to light up the area, to reduce crime, to cause this not to be such a food desert, et cetera, things of that nature. And when you have events like a lighting ceremony at Christmas time, it really puts joy and hope in the hearts of people. And I'm telling you, this is December 1st is going to be like no other. I mean, it's going to really, really be awesome. And before I leave Thanksgiving, I want to say also, Dr. White asked an awesome question about how did this all start. Greater really has been doing Thanksgiving giveaways since since the Genesis in Uptown, because that's really what it's all about for us. Legacy, continuing. And now that co-pastor Jasmine and I, we're at the helm of leading the church, we're determined, whether it's a lighting ceremony, Thanksgiving giveaway, we are determined to keep it lit, to keep it bright, to keep Jesus glorified in every single way we possibly can as we include the community. So the lighting ceremony is going to be just amazing.
So how does the lighting ceremony tie into the ministry's mission of outreach and service?
Let there be light.
Come on. It's Genesis chapter 1, Dr. Ryan, all the way to the Christmas narrative.
Come on.
Glory to God in the highest, peace on earth. It's shepherds that saw a well-lit star that led them directly to Jesus. There will be light. That it ties into the mission. I said it's go time, and the message of Christmas, the birth of Jesus, it gives hope to people that at the end of a year like this, I mean, this has been an emotionally draining year. This has been a topsy-turvy year. We are living in different times. We are living in challenging and changing times. These consequential times when you don't know, you go to bed one way, you wake up another way. Somebody has to light something up. It ties into our mission because this is the message of Jesus. In fact, the Bible talks about that Jesus came as a light in the midst of darkness in John chapter 1. And so you said it best, Councilman. I know Councilman got a little preacher in him.
Yeah, but you know, I ain't calling God. I know he called you, right? I ain't gonna do like a whole lot of people. Hey, God, no. I'm that other 70.
Got to answer now.
I'm that other 70, Bishop.
Yes, sir.
So, Bishop,
yes, sir. But that's how it ties in. Yes.
We talked about the Thanksgiving giveaway. We talked about PJ. Well, look, you know, the folk in the comments want me to make certain that I say that PJ Morton is a St. Augustine Purple Knight. So I'll say that on the air. So we talked about the Thanksgiving giveaway. We talked about PJ Martin's book. We talked about the Christmas lighting. But tell us about this toy giveaway, because I'm certain the kids are excited about this one. What about the toy giveaway that you guys are doing over at Greater?
I was super excited about it last year as well. I'm a parent. I'm a grandparent. And do you know how it lights up your child's face when they know they're going to have toys underneath the Christmas tree, toys in the house? And we have 1,000 toys that we're giving away, again, while supplies last. But 1,000 toys is a lot of toys. And we are so grateful to God for that partnership as well. It's going to be that also. I'm telling you, we are just blessed upon it's blessing upon blessing upon blessing in Greater right now. I mean, our sponsors are coming through. And let me just pause parenthetically for all my Greater members that are listening. Let me pause parenthetically and peruse the perimeter of my presentation.
A whole lot of alliteration going on this call right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to motivate councilmen to answer that God call. God is calling, so you got to talk. You got to talk like we talk. But in all seriousness, councilmen, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for all that you are doing to partner with Greater to make this happen. And I'm so grateful to God. You know, we have a lot of people that are partnering with us, particularly in the toy giveaway. Entergy is partnering with us. New Orleans East Hospital is partnering with us. PJ's Coffee, Country Inn and Suites, Universal Printing, and Home Team Productions. I want to just give a shout out to every single sponsor that is really working with us. And going back to Thanksgiving, we're grateful for Hope House. I mean, it takes teamwork to really make the dream work. So thank you all so very much. Now, I don't want to get off topic on that last question. So ask me one more time, Dr. Wyatt. Give it to me one more time.
So I just wanted you to, because there's so many wonderful things happening over at Greater. And I just was mentioning that you guys are doing a Thanksgiving giveaway. You guys are doing the book giveaway with PJ. Y'all are lighting up the East like never before with the Christmas lights. But let's talk about that toy giveaway. Are there any prerequisites for the community to qualify to receive a toy, or do they just show up, get in line and show up?
And show up. Now, I got to circle back and correct something. I heard you say book giveaway.
I'm sorry, book signing?
The book signing is not a giveaway.
No.
It's a fair exchange. There is a cost involved, so I want to make sure because
we want to be correct over here. So my apologies. The book signing with PJ Morton, five-time Grammy Award-winning St. Augustine Purple Knight PJ Morton.
Thank you for putting that St. Augustine in. I got to live in this city in peace.
Yes.
So, yes, God bless all of those from St. Augustine that are listening. Peace and blessings to you. And every other school that's listening. I want to be at peace with all men. Praise the Lord. But listen, I really, really want to be emphatically clear. Just show up to our church as it relates to that toy giveaway. It will be a blessing. I mean, when, again, last year we had children everywhere the eye could look in Morton Hall. They were there. Toys on toys on toys. No child left empty-handed. So Saturday, December 14th, you want to be there. In fact, I'm dating myself when I say be there or be square. You want to be in the house on Saturday, December 14th. It's really going to bless you. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Toys, toys, toys. It is the Greater way. It's the Greater St. Stephen toy giveaway.
Bishop, first of all, thank you for what you do. For folk who, we know that there are iconic figures that have started the Full Gospel Ministries, your mother-in-law and your father-in-law. No one can ever replace them. But Dr. White, I've had the chance to be in Bishop Robinson and First Lady Jasmine's presence. They take no backseat to anyone. And I just can't wait until the rest of the community begins to understand that we have a bishop and a first lady, right, who are not only equal to the task, but I think God has given them a mission of even taking it to a whole nother level. We're going to go to break. Can you stay with us after we do this break? Can you come back and stay with us a few minutes before we get to the top of the hour?
Sure, absolutely, Councilman. You got it.
Yeah, because I want to finish this statement. I think it's important, especially in getting to know you and knowing your mission. WBOK 1230 a.m.
What New Orleans is talking about.
And whose station?
Our station.
It's our station, baby. We'll be back, Bishop. Bishop T. Delbert Robinson, Greater St. Stephen's. We'll be back after the break.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
New Orleans, it's time to invest in our children's future. I'm Eric Doc Jones, an experienced educator, proven leader, and tireless advocate for our students. I'm in the runoff election for the Orleans Parish School Board District 2. It is critical because our students deserve better. I'm honored to have the endorsement of U.S. Congressman Troy Carter, Louisiana State Senator Joseph Boyd, and Councilman Oliver Thomas. Early voting begins November the 22nd and Election Day December the 7th. Vote Eric Doc Jones, District 2, number 12 on the ballot. Our children, our responsibility. Paid for by the committee to elect Eric Doc Jones, number 12.
Keep up with NOLA Public Schools through Education Elevation. Join Superintendent Dr. Avis Williams monthly as she shares district updates, celebrates schools, scholars, and more. Tune in every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m.
If you're over 75 or 60 plus with certain health conditions, you're at higher risk for severe RSV disease. Protect yourself with an RSV vaccine. Risk less, do more. Get started at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, WBOK listening audience. This is Pastor Robert Tanner of the Community Church of River Ridge, Louisiana, inviting you to tune in to our Sunday morning broadcast at 10 a.m. every Sunday morning right here on WBOK 1230 AM. That's Community Church with Pastor Robert Tanner every Sunday at 10 a.m. right here on WBOK 1230.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK 1230 AM.
We are back. Dr. Wyatt, OT, the early bird, Myron Sanders on the box, and one of our great preachers, soul reachers, Bishop Delbert, T. Delbert Robinson of Greater St. Stephen's, and their toy drive, man, PJ Morton book signing, Christmas lighting ceremony, toy giveaway. Bishop, before we went to break, I was talking about you and First Lady, right? And
right.
You know, y'all are still new to not a lot of people, but being in y'all presence, man, y'all impact and love of family is just unbelievable, right? And I love that about what Bishop Robinson and his wife has done, even bringing their family in from out of town whenever they have events. That tells me something. But I also remember one of the last sermons before the handoff, right, when Bishop Morton talked about the church getting back to its foundation. There are several sermons that you remember, and talk about that and that effort. And when he was doing the handoff, I know he only had that message in challenging the church because you guys are like-minded. Talk about that why is that important and why that's important to you? And not blaming the people for where they are. I thought it was quite profound, and you say that too, what the church has to do. Go ahead, sir.
Well, first of all, let me start off by saying again, thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Dr. Wyatt, for having me this morning. It is certainly a privilege and honor to be here and really represent Greater St. Stephen as well as co-pastor. And I thank God for you. Thank you for the invitation. The handoff you're talking about, I really would love to call it a transfer because that's what was taking place. And it is no secret. I've been preaching about this kind of voraciously over the last few weeks that the world as we knew it has changed. Yeah. It has definitely changed. Times are different. We're living through hard times. Times are changing as we speak. And we're very well aware that there will be those that may never set foot back in the brick and mortar physical church. And it's no slight on them. It just is what it is. But that's why we have the virtual space. And we do the best we can to reach our virtual community in every way possible. And that's a shout out as well. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can watch us on your smart TV. But it's really something about the church getting back to fellowship, coming in, really forsaking not the fellowship, having a human touch in a digital world. We really need one another. We need to feel the fellowship between the saints. We need to see people being transformed and getting converted. That's really so important in this day and age. And I mentioned it earlier, particularly with what is going on in our political world. People need hope. And there's only one type of hope I'm talking about. I'm not talking about dictionary hope. I'm talking about the Jesus kind of hope. People need to have their faith strengthened and encouraged in the Lord. That's why Scripture is clear that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So I'm really picking up the ball where it was handed to me. And it's no way possible that I could fill Bishop Morton's shoes. There's no way possible I can fill Pastor D's shoes. No, I'm not trying to fill their shoes. Co-pastor and I really, really dedicated this portion of our lives to finding the path that those shoes that they wore. They trekked a path. And all we're doing is just finding that path. We are literally path finders. And so, and when you find the path, let's be clear, the path will force you to go down your own trail from time to time.
Right.
But it's a well-crafted path. We're learning to do it well. I'm telling you, Pastor D and Bishop, they are literally gurus and geniuses as it relates to really ministering to the world by way of New Orleans. I mean, they did it for so many decades, almost 50 years in pastoral leadership, and then here we come. And I know a lot of people don't know me. I'm from the West Coast, from Southern California. Mm-hmm. I've always been a part of a Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship, even on the West Coast. Shout out to my city, the city of Carson. Mm-hmm. I doubt if anybody is up right now at 5:53 in the morning listening to me, but nonetheless,
Carson, Cal State, Dominguez Hills.
What? You know what? Man,
I played summer league ball for Coach Anai in the Cal State Dominguez Hills Summer League 1 year.
Man, I walked through Cal Dominguez every single day of my high school career. I grew up in Carson, played baseball there, football, you name it, I did it.
Well, you know, Coach Anai is a legend at Cal State. Coach.
What?
Yeah, their basketball teams, he was a legend out there. Great.
Oh, my
Well, Carson
goodness.
is a great, man, that's a great sports town, man. So many professional athletes. Well, anyway, look, you and I got to break some bread, Papa.
whenever we have a sports conversation about Carson, you can call me. I'll come back and we'll talk some more.
Absolutely.
But really, back to that transfer of legacy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we really are serious about carrying that mantle, because there are so many people who were there in the first generations of when not just Full Gospel started, but when Greater was thriving heavily in Uptown. And even in coming to the East, it's just layers upon layers of people. And we don't want those people to feel alienated, those believers that walked with Bishop Morton and those that walked with Pastor D. We're not looking to alienate anyone. We want to involve everyone while we're magnetizing even a new crowd. So it is so important. I could talk about that all day long and give biblical references and give experiences that co-pastor Jasmine and I have had in these early days. And it's just been a phenomenal ride. And when we talk about phenomenal rides, I don't want to paint an unrealistic picture. Phenomenal rides doesn't mean everything is always up. We've even learned how to navigate through the challenging moments. We've learned to navigate through those and really making sure one of the greatest challenges that we're navigating through is that interconnectivity, making sure because Jasmine was born in New Orleans and everyone, I tease her all the time. I say, like, everyone loves Raymond. Everybody knows Jasmine, but me being not from here coming in, I really work hard at being relational. Not just being relevant in my preaching and teaching, but being relational with the people that I lead is that's so important because people really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
So how can people stay connected with Greater St. Stephen Ministries and continue to support your upcoming events and initiatives throughout the year?
Oh, real easy. Number one, you can always follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube, and that'll give you an immediate connection to what we're doing. And then, of course, we invite anybody listening to come be with us on Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Come to Greater St. Stephen, 5600 Reed Boulevard, New Orleans East. It will bless you. We ain't going to hold you all day to get you good and blessed. We'll send you back on your way.
That's the key right there, huh?
Yeah. You'll be. I know. I'm a Saints fan.
Right.
I was secretly converted. I know they have some challenges. I'm praying for all of the Saints fans, but we've been doing pretty good over the last couple of weeks.
Yes, we have.
Praise the Lord. I'll take those two good big wins. But listen, we'll get you out in time so you can be at your TV, get to the Superdome, and you will not be shortchanged. The Spirit of God will move upon you. And then you can always find us on Wednesday nights. We're entering what we call Rest Month. In the month of December, we take off. Our leaders take off. Our ministry activity, it kind of comes down to a minimum because we also believe in being balanced. So this is the time where people can intentionally be with their families without the interruption, particularly our staff. But in the month of January, you can find us 7 p.m. on Wednesday nights right there at Greater St. Stephen. Again, 5600 Reed Boulevard. It'll bless you.
Well,
That's how you keep
thank you, Bishop. So day and time for people to come to the especially those who want to know one more time for the Thanksgiving giveaway.
Yes.
So for please forgive me. Councilman, you got me to preaching, trying to convince you to go ahead and preach, and my voice started I started going into preacher voice. All right, so for the Thanksgiving giveaway, you can meet us on Saturday, this coming Saturday, November 23rd, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, right there at our church, Greater St. Stephen, 5600 Reed Boulevard.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. And we look forward to you coming back, man, especially to talk about, I know you're planning on next year. We would love to enter into a conversation with you about how you're helping shape and reform the ministry, man, and y'all mission. And I love what you and the First Lady are doing, and we look forward to talking to you about it, Bishop.
Sure thing. God bless you,
Thank you. God
Councilman
bless you.
Thomas. Bless you, Dr. Wyatt.
Same
It's
to
been a
you,
pleasure,
Bishop.
and I look forward to it. I'm looking
Absolutely.
forward to it.
Bishop Delbert T. Robinson, when we come back, Delgado, man, we're talking about a great institution. That with Dr. Wyatt and OT on WBOK 1230 a.m.
What New Orleans is talking
And whose
about.
station?
Our
It's
station.
our station, baby. We'll be back after the break.
WBOK 1230 AM New Orleans. Home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
This news report is brought to you by New Schools for New Orleans.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Representative Jim Clyburn is urging President Biden to address mass incarceration by using his clemency authority to reduce sentences for those serving lengthy terms. Other Democrats have requested clemency for elderly, chronically ill, and non-threatening felons. A new Gallup and West Health study found that 70% of Americans want doctors to ask about their mental health during appointments. The survey of over 2,300 adults showed 76% of women and 65% of men support this. Wall Street closed higher, boosted by Nvidia's strong earnings and Bitcoin hitting a record $98,000. The Dow gained 461 points, the S&P 500 rose 31 points, and the Nasdaq gained 6 points. And AMC Theaters will remind moviegoers not to sing during Wicked screenings this weekend with a playful warning. A sing-along version starring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo will be released next month. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
New Schools for New Orleans, along with Allstate Sugar Bowl and Entergy New Orleans, would like to send a huge congratulations to our class of 2024 New Orleans Excellence in Teaching Award honorees. This year, we had 90 Teachers of the Year from each public school in New Orleans. Each of them was recognized at our annual gala, where we had over 350 attendees. We're excited to also share that each honoree is receiving a $1,000 classroom grant. Thank you for everything you do, teachers.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
We are back 1 minute past the top of the hour. Thank you so much, Bishop T. Delbert Robinson and First Lady Jasmine Robinson, Great St. Stephen, man. Toy giveaway, PJ Martin books signing, turkey and Thanksgiving, programming, so much that they're doing. We're at Christmas tree lighting. So thank you so much. We look forward to continuing conversations. But on the phone right now, one of the great public servants of our time, Dr. Orlando Williams. Welcome to the Good Morning Show. Dr. Williams?
Friend, Mr. Oliver Thomas.
Man, well, how you doing, Doc?
I'm great. I am great. Thank y'all for having us. How are you doing?
Man, your Dancing with the Stars partner is doing so good. Dr. Williams and I finished third in the Junior League Dancing with the Stars contest several years ago. And thank you for picking me as your partner. I appreciate you, man. And thank your daughter for helping us practice to get our steps together, right? So we wouldn't embarrass anybody.
Oliver, I can't even listen to Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell without laughing and thinking about that night. But we raised good money for a good cause, and I would do it all over again.
But yes, we did. And love you, appreciate
and I've learned how to dance.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think your daughter helped a bunch of us with our steps. But first of all,
yes.
Doc, how are you doing? Talk about this initiative, what you guys are doing with workforce development and why it's important.
I'm great. And Councilman Thomas, workforce development is all that we do. So, if we talk about programs, academic art on the non-credit side that, I'm in charge of, all things that we do at Delgado lead to a stronger workforce in the New Orleans region. So we have looked at ways that we can incorporate our programs on the workforce side, able to bridge the gap in unemployment and underemployment ways, but also offer our students an opportunity for credit for prior learning to be able to come back. And if they want to earn that certificate of technical education, that associate's degree, then they have that opportunity, or they can take the industry-based credential, go directly into the workforce, make a nice salary and a living wage to support their family. And so we like to say on the workforce side that we're creating access to opportunity. So we have several programs going on right now, but one is my favorite, and it is we changed it from the Arlene's Career Program to the Delgado Career Program because it's a holistic approach to reentry. And it is having the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, the person that is just as involved all together, one unit, right? And so we're finishing up a cohort of 30. The majority are taking a CDL class at the River City site, which is in Avondale. And so they have it's a complete program with mental health services, financial literacy, just that, hey, come and kick it with the VC and talk to me about how I can help you. And so I'll give you an example. One young man was in there, and he was afraid that we weren't going to be able to find him funding through MJ Foster because of his criminal background. He had his head down. I said, no, we're going to help you. He kept his head down, and my daddy kicked in me easily. Boy, pick your head up. We're about to make you get what you need, and we're going to help you get to the next level. And so 2 weeks ago, I walked into the building, and I heard someone say, hey, VC, it's me. So I turned around, and it was that student. So I said, what you doing? He said, oh, I'm paying it forward. I said, what you talking about, paying it forward? He said, well, I'm about to be finished. So I have my friend in a welding course, and he needed some extra funds for his PPE. So I said, well, why you didn't tell him to come and talk to me? He said, well, he waited too late, but it's okay. He said, I'm in the CDL class. I have a job. He said, but come see. And he showed me his van, and child had it painted like Scooby-Doo. And he said, well, VC, if you ever need a ride. And so, my heart went out, but I don't think I'm going to need a ride in the Scooby-Doo van. I told him, and we laughed about it. Right. But it was the pride that's in this young man today. He came talk to me and said, I want to take another class. Can you help me? Because I had tuition assistance funds for workforce students that fell in this gap like he did. And he said, can you help me? He brought his mother to me. He said, can you help me? I want to take one more class.
So,
and
Dr.
said,
Williams.
I want to pay for it. And he did.
So if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Dr. Orlando Williams, Vice Chancellor for Workforce Development over at Delgado. So tell us, how does workforce development adapt to the changing demands of the job market, and what steps do you take to ensure that the training programs remain relevant and effective?
So we meet with industry partners. We sit at the table with our curriculum and those in the industry. We work with GNO Inc., we work with JEDCO, and we get the trends. We read the jobs report. We look at what areas that we can benefit, even if it's advanced manufacturing, healthcare, IT, or maritime. And then we go out and we identify industry partners that will allow us to train, one, their incumbent workers, and then work with us to look at the curriculum that we have, that we're training our students according to the new standards that they would accept our students upon graduation. So it's a win-win for the company because they're sitting at the table with us, helping us design short-term training on the workforce side, because remember, we don't have to go through fall, spring, summer semester. I could start up a class today if I want to, if it's a 2-week program. So the key to it and the key to being successful is to make certain that each industry sector has a seat at our table, be it advisory board or be it a conversation to say, this is what I need. And then I'll say, this is what we're offering. And then they come back with, this is good, but could we help? Could we add X, Y, and Z to the program to make it even more robust? And that's how we are not setting students up for failure, but yet not preparing them to walk out of our door and into the front door of a job.
Absolutely. So for folk who are listening who may want to take advantage of this initiative, how do they get involved? Is there a sign up? Like, what are the qualifications or requirements?
So if you go to the Delgado website, www.dcc.edu, and you drop down on workforce, all of our programs are there. So although we have, a special initiative for those that are justice involved, all of our programs involve the industry sector sitting at the table. So all of our workforce programs are there. We meet with individuals one-on-one. Like, you can't come and tell us you want to be a nurse or a CNA, but I'm afraid of needles. I'm afraid of sick people, but I love to do things with my hands. I love to build things. Then guess what? I may have a machining class for you, and this is the partner that I'm going to have to come and talk to you about the benefits of working in this industry. So all of our programs are on the Delgado website under the workforce department. You'll see some of our industry partners are listed there. They can come in and they meet with, once they go to register, they'll be able to meet with one of our team leads as to when's the next class, what funding sources are out there that's available to you, how we can help you to get to the next step as far as your PPE, as far as any equipment or textbooks that you may need.
So enrollment is now open for both the winter and spring sessions. What opportunities do these upcoming terms offer to students, especially those who might want to catch up or fast track their degree requirements?
So that's the academic side, that their enrollment is now open, correct. But workforce is open enrollment all the time. So we have a class starting December the 5th. We have a class that started last week. So the opportunities that are out there for our courses don't necessarily follow the fall, spring, summer matrix.
And that could work. That works better for folk who are balancing work life, home life. So that seems to be, that's great. That's good information. I didn't even think about that, because if you're balancing work life, school responsibilities, the workforce development is always open enrollment.
Correct. And maritime, you can start a class, especially the deckhand certifications. And I use that one because we have people that walk in daily that, have a job already. They want that certification. They jump right in. They're taking a class that may last 2 weeks, but that class starts every other week. So they don't have to wait. They don't have to come today and have to wait until next year, January, to start a class. So those classes fall like, your regular basic education classes, your reading, math, arithmetic, your biologies and the like, all follow the spring and summer and winter intercession opportunities. But workforce is totally different. So we do standardized, where you're just going to find a schedule. This is all the time. CDL starts at this time, and this is when it ends. And then we have customized that says, if I get a cohort of 5 or 10 that's ready to start tomorrow, I'm going to start them tomorrow.
So Doc, we talk about workforce development. One of the things we do, I'll never forget the report with Boeing, where Boeing talked about one of their challenges was having a workforce that was ready for the type of jobs that they had at their plant out in Michoud, in this region. When we hear that, what happens? Do we begin to say, hey, hold on a second, there are certain industries that are here, there are certain industries that are coming here, that are certain industries that are saying that they need a more diverse workforce to fit them? Do we prepare curriculums around that? Do we work with Greater New Orleans Inc. in the chamber to develop those jobs to fit those folk that are here or want to come here?
We do, and we work a lot with Greater New Orleans Inc. on just that, on identifying when new companies come to the region, or when existing companies are already here and they're talking about their need to increase their workforce. We actually work with GNO Inc. to let's see, okay, what are their needs, and then we bring the company in. So last year, I hosted Boeing here at the Delgado site, and they brought all of their subs out here to River City to the Advanced Manufacturing Center, hosted a meeting here, and then we were all able to listen to the needs of not only Boeing, but the subcontractors as well. Because as you well know, Councilman, there's a lead, but you got 10 others falling underneath them, and so we need to address each level going up to. It could be just as simple as a fire watcher, which is not a simple job, but it could be that fire watcher before it gets to the deckhand or before it gets to the next position. So we have to identify each one. And so when we hear those types of conversations, we're on the phone with GNO Inc. We're on the phone with the JETCOs that make the calls to say we're going to bring this group in, and then we sit down and talk. One prime example right now are the veterans. So we're meeting with a group that's helping us identify those trainings that some people need or want and have not been able to receive, and they're placing them, and they've identified those industry partners that says, I will hire, veterans and the like. So that's what we do.
So Delgado offers state-of-the-art facilities like the River City site and the Maritime and Industrial Training Center. Can you describe the resources available at these sites and how they help students prepare for in-demand careers?
So the Maritime Center is the only maritime center of excellence in the state of Louisiana. I would really invite you all to come out and visit. That place prepares. Every course that's over there is Coast Guard certified. And so we have to go through an extensive certification process on all equipment. There are simulators there that if we bring you there and you're training as a boat captain, or even if you want to do a leadership training, we use our simulators and we guide you down the Mississippi. I'm ashamed to say I wrecked the boat twice. Trying to get it right. But we also train, but people don't believe this or not, out at that Maritime Center, we train a lot of those in the hotel industry because they use it as leadership, whereas one person falls off of this simulated barge, and then the team figures out how to go back and save it. So not only do we have the technical courses, we have the leadership courses as well out at the Maritime Center. And then at the Advanced Manufacturing Center, we are applying for our Center of Excellence designation as we speak. We have all of your robotics. We have mechatronics, and everybody, when I say it, they're like, Mecha what? And mechatronics is all things advanced manufacturing, machining, electronics, engineering, all together, and it's a part of PTech, process technology. So we have out here our CAD programs, we have robotics, we have the mechatronics, we have welding, CDL. Everything that we have is preparing those people for the future, because mechatronics is an advanced manufacturing program that comes from like the Denver area, because that's a lot where your advanced manufacturing and your factories are. And so we copied that model. And in the Maritime Center, we used the model at San Jacinto College and kind of copied that because Texas, of course, leads in oil and gas. And so we came and were able to develop it. They came here and took some of our ideas and went back. And so now we have the federal designation as a center of excellence.
We're talking to Dr. Orlando Williams. She's the vice chancellor at the Delgado Community College. We have a caller, Doc, line number 1. Brother Eric, you're on with Dr. Williams.
Hey, God bless you all. How you doing today?
We're doing fine, good brother.
Good, great. I was glad to hear about the manufacturing. I was wondering, does Delgado have a program for agriculture, or is agriculture something that they would see as an important program to have, since there's a great need for healthy food nowadays? And so agriculture, is that something that Delgado would consider?
Yes, it is. And we have started working with Dr. Ford, who was who's at another institution in their ag department, and he has developed a few short-term programs here, and it came out of a partnership that we started with Sankofa. And so he's working at the River City class. We also did like an acupuncture type, like an aqua type course as well.
Yeah, aquaponics.
Where our students, aquaponics, where our students actually went out and worked with one of our instructors. And so we're bringing that program back in February because when we did it, we did a cohort model as part of a partnership with another local nonprofit. So, yes, agriculture is an area that we're looking to expand in over at the Advanced Manufacturing Center.
Great question, Mr. Eric.
Beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Dr. Williams, you've mentioned several partnerships. How do these partnerships help to bridge the gap between education and employment opportunities, especially for underserved communities?
Because most of our partners are actually those nonprofits that are in the community working with those that are either less fortunate or have just need a little help making a decision on what they want to do next in life. Some people have just been underemployed. And so these nonprofits, through their work, partner with us to say, we have a group of people that's interested in a training in, and then we come together with them, present the curriculum, and then we provide the training. And then they take the third step and help with the job placement.
So Delgado's Workforce Development Division offers a variety of training programs. Can you highlight some of the specialized programs, such as the electric vehicle program or the wind energy training, and how they're shaping the future of energy and advanced manufacturing careers?
Yes, ma'am. And so our, and I can announce it now, so y'all will be the first to hear
Breaking
it.
news.
Yes, we just received confirmation that we can announce it, but we did receive a grant as a part of HBCUs and minority-serving institutions to provide training through the Environmental Protection Agency. It's a part of the Biden-Harris package that was just announced on yesterday. And so a part of that, Delgado is going to be providing assessments and training on how to do assessments, environmental protection type issues. And so, you know, along the corridor here where River City is located at, it's close to some of your chemical plants and facilities. We're also a recipient and will be the lead on a grant with the Department of Labor called Strengthening Our Communities, which we are going to serve train over the next 4 years, 350 electric vehicle technicians. So those trainings are going to come right out of the River City site. I'm excited about all of this advanced manufacturing type events. And then finally, we are a part of a grant with GNO Inc. and several other LCTCS institutions, and it's the H to the Future grant. And so what we did was we looked at those programs that we already have, and we saw which ones could be transferable. So like our electric line worker course, we're adding more courses to that they can leave also as a wind turbine technician. And so working on the global certification that they would all need without having to go outside of the state of Louisiana to get it. So we may partner with one of our other schools in the system that once our students would finish with us, and they would just go and take the certification portion with them. So kind of like a 1+1 agreement and not like 2+2 like you normally see. And so the things that we are doing in wind is exciting to me because I am from Houma, and that is where the first turbines were built to go on the East Coast. And so to go out to Rhode Island and all to see them close up, it is an offshore platform. So we offer so many maritime programs and so many energy programs already. We're just taking what we have and enhancing it and then advancing our students to be able to have transferable skills. So it won't just be, I'm a line worker, I'm also a turbine tech, turbine tech.
So, Doc, I want to stay there. So, you know, when you think about the history of community colleges, right, vocational training and developing people in certain sectors, you know, from the 50s to 60s and 70s, man, when they were booming, right, across this country, it seems like that time is there again, you know, with, how would I say, skilled labor with a little digital training, though. Is that where we are in this country now, where people are saying, hey, hold on a second, right? Man, we got these community colleges now that already have a foundation for the workforce that's going to repair and restore America's infrastructure and a lot of our buildings and a lot of our systems. Are we in that time again?
Yes. Yes, we are. Because you're seeing that, like you mentioned, energy. You're seeing the change. There are some changes. So there are some things that are remaining the same, but then they're advancing. And so the community and technical college system can change, can flip over faster. So we can go to a different atmosphere as far as the short-term trainings that need to be added to those programs already. And then people are realizing, have you called out an HVAC technician lately or a plumber?
No, I try not to because, just to come look at the system, it costs me $400.
More than the system.
Exactly.
To say ain't nothing wrong.
People,
right.
People are realizing that, wait a minute, we are getting away from the very foundation of this country. We need people that can go out and do these types of jobs. And so that is where the community and technical college system is the shining star. And so we work with our four-year institutions, but we realize that we have the niche to make sure that we're turning over the next generation of workforce leaders. And so how do we do that? By taking what's already there and just advancing it. You're going to always need a plumber. You're going to always need an electrician. And you're going to always need, I know I will always need an HVAC person.
Yeah, I'm going to have my wrenches
none
ready
of us
this
want
weekend.
to be in the heat, right? So it's just like you said, to just add the digital portion to it. And back to we talked about the agriculture piece. A piece that we're looking at doing is the digital agronomy piece, which will also help in ag, but it also helps in the P-Tech area because it goes out and it could look at what's going on in the oil and gas industry as well. So to add the digital pieces to those programs that are already there does nothing but enhance our students and it prepares them.
So you mentioned something that's important. The one thing we're hearing from this new political regime is that drill, baby, drill. Let's unlock our minerals and resources from under the earth so we're not dependent worldwide. Are you guys following that, especially given the fact that Louisiana at one time was the headquarters of oil exploration and oil refinery? With this Trump Vance administration, could we see that increase?
I think 100%. So I have a little bias in that because I'm from Houma.
Yes, I know.
Where oil and gas pays the rent, right? Mm-hmm. And so we look for those days. But I'm also from a point where we have to be mindful as to how we research the industry. Do I think it's going to be great for the state of Louisiana? I do. Mm-hmm. I really and truly do. But do I think that we need to be forward-thinking as far as community and technical college, how we're going to advance P-Tech, how we're going to advance these students to go out on those platforms? I do. And so in our Maritime Center, we have started already. We were looking at that anyway when we started saying, okay, either political party to me would have been a strength, because if we bring in the energy piece strictly, let's do solar, let's do these the wind energy, let's do all of that. We may not have seen the boost of the windmills and the turbine, the wind turbines out in the Gulf as fast, but we would have been the producers here so that this stuff could have gone to the East Coast. And so the money and the revenue from it would have really helped our communities, right? And so now we have to pivot and let's look at, will it be the days of old oil and gas, drill, baby, drill, or will it be an advanced drill, baby, drill, where we add the digital component, we add more safety to it, we add more trainings that will say, okay, maybe you're going to stop wind energy now, but you know in the future it's going to come, so we keep them combined. But right now is the time for anybody in Louisiana to me, if you're interested in oil and gas, to come back to community and technical colleges, to get the P-Tech certifications and degrees, to get the safeties that you're going to need, and to be prepared for however this energy boost is going to go.
So how can folks reach you and to get to take part in all of these wonderful initiatives? Because I promise you taught me so much on this call. I did not know Delgado offered so much. I knew there was programming happening over there, but this robust, I had no clue. So how do people reach out to you should they want to take part in all of the wonderful things you're offering at Delgado in terms of workforce development?
So through our website, www.ccc.edu, or they can call directly to the Workforce Department, 504-671-6488, and someone will be there to answer and to direct them as to what area that they would like. Because I still haven't even touched on the healthcare portion that we do on the workforce side.
That just means you have to come back. You
yes,
got to come back.
I'm ready to, y'all. So we have a lot of stuff, Doc and Councilman, to offer. And you're right. Delgado has been a staple in the community for over 100 years. And so people just like, okay, that's Delgado, okay, but they're not realizing we're not just your regular community and technical college. We're one of the largest in the state.
Yeah.
And you can come here, and I always tell them, 60K is 2 years away.
Well, Dr. Williams, I'm going to make a recommendation, especially given the fact that we have an education segment and expert with Dr. Wyatt now. I think, I've been there. You guys have invited me there for the programs. I think you guys should give Dr. Wyatt a tour and a sit down and like you guys have done with me in the past, so she'll be familiar with all of the programming, especially since we talk about education and education opportunities. So, Dr. Wyatt and Dr. Williams, y'all need to get together and make that happen. Absolutely.
I would love that. I would love that. We would spend a date, because I would like to start you at the Avondale
Sign
site,
me up.
then go on to General de Gaulle,
absolutely,
to Sidney Collier, and then out way into the east, and we'll come back and finish at City Park, just to give you a complete overview of the awesome things that Delgado Community College has to offer.
Well, so let it
and
be
then
written.
The good thing that we have is that our chancellor, Doc, is from New Orleans, and so Dr. Saab has a vision to grow the city of New Orleans through education and through Delgado.
Yeah, and that's why
I'm excited about it.
Dr. White is integral here in terms of she's our mouthpiece and our engagement person around education. So she needs to have that thorough partnership with you guys so we can talk about it holistically and effortlessly. So I'm going to count on that happening. Anything, how can people reach out to you about workforce development?
They can contact us, 504-671-6488. My assistant will be there. Someone is there all the time to answer the call. And also, if you want to go just straight to the website, www.dcc.edu, not only will you see the workforce development drop down, you'll see all the other great things that Delgado Community College has to offer.
I need you to hold on so you can share numbers with Dr. Wyatt. So I'm going to put you on hold. Naren will take care of that. And we appreciate you, sis. Look forward to you coming back.
Thank you, Doc.
And expanding more on what Delgado has to do. So look, I'll drop Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams, Naren's going to get you back so we can get your number to set up that tour and that meeting. Wait, WBOK 1230 a.m.?
What New Orleans is talking about.
And whose station?
Our station.
You know it's our station.
Hey everybody, it's Graylin Bryant Banks.
And Kimber White Dupree.
From the front porch, y'all. You know how we do every Monday. It's Moving Monday.
And Tuesday, it's Trivia Tuesday.
And y'all know we have nothing but bad cheering coming through here on Wednesday.
But stick with us. On Thursday, we travel.
That's right. And Friday's Free Your Mind Friday, so get your brass up.
Something on your mind? Want to get it off your chest?
Holla at your people. WBOK 1230 AM, station you listen to.
All day long.
Good morning and happy Friday. I'm Morgan Lentis with WDSU News, and here's a look at today's headlines. This morning, the search continues for two suspects wanted in connection to a deadly quadruple shooting in the city's French Quarter. One suspect, 28-year-old Nicholas Moriana, has already been arrested. The other two, Daniel Moriana and Daryl Adams, remain at large. That shooting happened around 12:30 yesterday afternoon near Royal and Iberville Streets. One woman was killed and 3 other people were hurt. Then a new class of recruits are joining New Orleans 911 operations team. 15 trainees will graduate later this morning as communication specialists. This comes as the city tries to reduce 911 wait times in New Orleans. And state lawmakers returned to Baton Rouge today to continue the special session on tax reform. A series of bills which would overhaul our state's tax structure, if passed, go up for a vote today. The special session must end by 6 p.m. on Monday. And tonight, Warren Easton's choir will host a harvest concert to raise money for the Singing Eagles' upcoming trip to NYC, where they will compete in a national competition. That event will feature performances by the Singing Eagles, along with other local high school choirs. Tickets are $30 in advance, and the concert begins at 6:30 p.m. in the Arthur Hardy Auditorium at Warren Easton. And that's a look at today's headlines. I'm Morgan Lentis with WDSU News. Have a great weekend.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month, a service of the community scientist and Rise St. James. This month, we're focusing on lead, a heavy metal that's dense, soft, and poses serious health risks. In Cancer Alley, lead exposure from industrial emissions or contaminated soil can significantly increase cancer risks and other health problems. Stay informed and protect your health. For more information, visit risestjames.org.
Tune in to The Monitor's Mic, where we talk about oversight, policing, and you. Hosted by the Office of Independent Police Monitor, we're here to shine a light on policing issues that matter, from real-time policing updates to in-depth interviews. Every Friday at noon on WBOK.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
NOLA Public Schools' main round enrollment for kindergarten through 12th grade is now open. With 73 schools available through the NOLA Public Schools Common Application Process, or NCAP, finding the right school fit for your family is easier than ever. List up to 12 choices to maximize your chances and apply by January 24th. We're all in, and we hope you are too. Apply today at enrollnolaps.com. That's enrollnolaps.com.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
Show. I am your host, Dr. Ashanta Wyatt. Nara is behind the glass holding us all together. And right now in studio are our partners from Home Bank. Y'all know Kelvin. Y'all know Mr. Luster, the one and only. But I also want to thank Bishop T. Delbert Robinson from Greater St. Stephen. That's Nara's home church, y'all. And our partners from Delgado. But right now, we're getting ready to have a conversation about Home Bank, the local bank, the home team. How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you
Listen,
too.
Y'all, I know y'all mad because every time Home Bank come, y'all see these goodies. They always bring something, so I'm a little biased. So I say, look, I like to see Home Bank coming because I'm going to get a good little treat. But it's always invaluable information. But before I start talking to you, I want to make certain that I let people know that today starts early voting. Yes. Early voting starts today for the December 7th election. You can early vote today through November 30th, starting at 8:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m., excluding Sunday, November 24th, Thursday, November 28th, and Friday, November 29th. So please, you don't have to wait until December 7th to cast your vote. If you're not doing anything, put some clothes on, go down to your voting poll and vote. You can vote now until November 30th from 8:30 to 6 o'clock p.m., early voting for the December 7th election. There are 4 amendments on the ballot, as well as a very important school board race runoff between Gabrielle Libero and Dr. Eric Jones for the District 2 seat. So please, y'all, get up, get out, and vote. Bring somebody to the polls with y'all. But listen, we going to pivot, y'all. We talked all things election right quick. but it's home bank time. How you
Let's
feeling?
roll. I'm doing good. God is good.
All the time.
Blessed to be here, and we're so excited about just being able to share some more information to be able to, so that everyone can be successful and starting with investing in their financial future, which is an investment in themselves.
But let me tell y'all right this. I'm gonna put a little shameless plug. You know those commercials that say stuff like, you know, I'm also a client. You know, I'm not only a spokesperson, but I'm also a client. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are looking for a bank that actually values your humanity in terms of understanding that life be life and mistakes happen, and it can always bring you back to center, you might want to consider our partners over at Home Bank. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
From me to the listening ears of our audience, if you want a bank that works for you and on your behalf, returns your emails and picks up the phone when you call our partners over at Home Bank.
That's right.
But what you going to talk to us about today? Understanding your credit score?
Yes.
That's
and
the scary thing.
Come on.
That's
Before
scary.
it's not scary. We want to tackle that.
See how Kelvin made me feel better already? It's not scary.
No, we want to get that. Let me first just say some housekeeping. Home Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender. But you know, Dr. White, New Orleans has everything to be proud of.
Yes.
We really do. It's so important the way the city continues to protect their purpose, their culture. But a part of that in keeping it moving forward is going to be protecting the finances as well as investing in yourself as well as your community. And that's what we want to do. And that's where we've been fortunate and blessed to be a part of the New Orleans community for, again, 116, 17 years now, 6 branches here in our New Orleans market. So I just want to make sure that we give back and that your listeners know and the community know that if you haven't had a discussion with your bank/banker, we want you to do that. And if you're not with a bank, we certainly want you to consider Home Bank as their bank of choice. But as far as investing, when we hear investing, we think of multiple ways, multiple products. But let's just break it down to the most basic level. Having some resource, whether it be a basic checking or savings, that's where we want to kind of start with. So if you have that or you don't have that, that's important to kind of start there.
So it says open a savings account is a great first step towards financial health. So can you explain why it's important to have a savings account and how it helps in the long term?
Yes, I found that even for me personally, that when I treated a savings or looked at savings in general as a debt. So we all have, our basic everyday, just our monthly expenses. It could be car note, mortgage, rent, so forth, car insurance. So if you see your savings or a way to save as a debt and then paying into that monthly, weekly, if you're able to do it bi-weekly, then you're able to get in the habit of saving. So that's how we kind of want everyone to see it, as a necessity in that you're going to make a payment to yourself.
That's a good way to look at it. It's just so often, most of us are drowning, so you don't get to save because everything you're making, sometimes it's already spent before you get it.
Right.
Because stuff is already due, but that's a good way to look at it, because I think if you create the discipline around putting a little to the side, even if it's a couple dollars, those couple dollars add up.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to look at it. So what are some of the key benefits of having a savings account with a bank like Home Bank?
So let's just say, if you in your what you just said is so important, because by the time we reach that payday, the money's already spent.
Absolutely.
But when you have
I'm talking from personal knowledge here, y'all. Like, listen, I don't hide none of my struggles from nobody. It's hard out here. It's hard.
We want you to have that conversation and be honest. When you go into your bank, you should be able to be honest about the thing that one of the most important things that's keeping you here, keeping food on your table, a roof over your head, transportation. So when circumstances change in your life, and whether that be income fluctuates or so forth, we want to hear that from you so that we understand how we can protect you with certain products within the bank.
Let me say this to you. I laugh all the time here because I want to bring a sense of joy to the radio. I talk about a lot of serious things. Yeah. It gets heavy around here. But for me, when I think about banks and talking to our partners at Home Bank, I'll say this. You guys take the shame away from not being where people think you ought to be,
right,
you know, in your life. Like, you don't think about a person that has attained the highest degree they could attain,
right,
you know, and struggling with a credit score.
Right.
But life happens.
Right.
And so when I talk to our partners from Home Bank, I don't ever feel like the stigma of like, girl, that's what your credit score. Yeah, that's what it is.
Right.
All right. It wasn't always like that.
Correct.
But things happen. And if it can happen to me, I've attained the highest mark there is in my profession. And I'm still struggling in ways that folk who don't even have degrees, who've never even thought about going to school and educating themselves to that level, they're struggling. So that's why I don't never look down at anybody, because I know at any given moment your circumstances could change such that you need somebody.
Right.
Right. And I feel like with Home Bank, it always feels like you care about more than just opening the account.
Correct.
You care about making certain that person's fiscal picture is healthy.
Exactly.
No matter where we have to start at. So that's a shout out to you and your team over at Home Bank.
Thank you. Thank you. And truly your start in finances can be as early as 18 or in preteens up to 65. If you haven't started, you can start. You can. It's never too late to begin. The thing is, it's really finding that person that you're connecting with that to hear you, hear your story, to help you better understand how you can be and achieve whatever those goals are. You know, just like you and I having this dialogue, communication is important.
Absolutely.
There is always a receiver and a sender on both ends of this conversation. So if you're going through something, why not have the conversation with the person and the institution that really are the experts to be able to help you have what we hear it all the time now with the economy. You hear the word soft landing. We can prevent a lot of things if we just have open dialogue.
Listen, I want to give a shout out to my producer, Nyron Sanders, because he always
Come on,
comes
Nyron.
through with the valuable questions. Because let me tell you something. I think he wrote number 6 for me. So let me tell you what number 6 say.
What it say?
Number 6 say, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to rebuild their credit score after financial difficulties or a past mistake? Nyron, get out my pocket.
Come on, Nyron. Listen. As time, look, the financial industry has and will continue. It's evolving and continue to evolve. There are so many more creative products that can be catered to you. If yours is about credit, then we have something to be able to assist you in that journey.
I believe you too. Look, John, don't go anywhere. If you also want to join into this conversation with our partners over at Home Bank, specifically Kelvin Luster, the number here is 504-582-9422. We'll take a quick break, but John, stay on the line for me. This is WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
This is your news update for WBOK 1230 AM from WDSU. For all your news and weather, watch WDSU News, New Orleans' leader in live, local, late-breaking news. Today at noon and 4 p.m.
Another chilly day up ahead. At least we'll see the sunshine, looking at highs to make it into the low to mid-60s. As we get into the overnight hours, though, there's a potential to see some frost, especially on the North Shore. Temperatures dip to the 30s and the 40s and 50s on the South Shore. Heading into the weekend, the first half of the weekend is cool, but then by Sunday, we're back into the 70s. For the WDSU First Warning Weather Center, I'm Raven Richard.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Keep up with NOLA Public Schools through Education Elevation, hosted by Superintendent Dr. Avis Williams. Education Elevation will highlight the achievements, innovations, and contributions of scholars, educators, schools, and the district. Tune in every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. for engaging conversations and updates as we strengthen connections and support the needs of our scholars. Mark your calendars for every fourth Wednesday at 11:30 a.m.
Do you have both Medicare and Medicaid? With the People's Health Medicare Advantage plan, you could get up to $280 per month to spend on utilities, healthy groceries, and over-the-counter items. $280 per month. Don't miss out on these extra benefits. Call 1-844-663-2135. Plans are insured through United Healthcare Insurance Company or one of its affiliated companies, a Medicare Advantage organization with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in the plan depends on the plan's contract renewal with Medicare.
Join Inspire NOLA Charter Schools, Freddie King, Hancock Whitney, Six War Steppers, and more for 2 NOLA Love Drive-Through Turkey and Ham giveaways. On Tuesday, November 26th, the first giveaway begins at 9 a.m. in Algiers at Alice Hart Charter School, and the second giveaway begins at 2 p.m. in historic Treme at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. Receive a free turkey or ham and food items while supplies last. We'll see you there. Learn more at inspirenolaschools.org.
Hey everybody, it's Kimber White Dupree.
And it's Graylin Brian Banks from the front porch. We're coming up next.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK 1230 AM.
My super producer, Naira Sanders, is behind the glass, holding us all together. And I'm in studio right now with the incomparable Kelvin Luster. And his right-hand woman is over there in the corner. She don't like to be on camera, y'all, but she makes stuff move. You hear me? So listen, if you're looking for a bank, you're looking for a home bank, you better go to Home Bank. That's the winning team. You understand? So talk to us. Like, what is the importance of having a working relationship with your banking institution?
It's critical.
Yes.
I mean, it really is. It should be top of mind. It should always be anything that moves or that you're affiliated to. It's 9 out of 10 times it's financially related.
Yes.
So having that relationship is number one. So I always encourage everybody to again know someone within the banking system that you choose to bank with.
Mm-hmm.
Know them by name and have an occasional, and if it be quarterly or annually, conversation. You know, we always encourage everybody to check their credit reports annually. You go often and get your personal things taken care of, be your hair or your car maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
You should be checking your finances with your banker as well.
Well, that's what I also love about. I have a Capital One now. And what I love about the app is like it's literally on the app. You can keep checking it every day, you know. And so I love the fact that just a conversation with you on the radio one day sparked this need for me to get myself in financial order.
Let's do
right?
it.
Because I don't know, I was just grieving a lot because I was in a place that felt good to me, and then it was stripped from me, and then I had to kind of find my way back to that. But I was putting off the idea of even looking at my credit score because it was scary. I knew it. I was like, oh my God, I'm not even looking at it. But if I don't look at it, I can't fix it.
Right.
And so it was the first conversation I had with you on the show. So I think that's why God put me here, because I've met some amazing people being the co-host here on the radio. All of the pieces are slowly coming into focus for me.
Shout out to WBOK for getting you.
Shout out to WBOK and the ownership and my producer back there, because I couldn't do this job without him. I tell everybody everywhere I go, like, he makes it look easy for me to do this job, because he's literally holding it down for me behind the glass. And so I'm just saying, when folk are looking for a place to bank where there's no stigma attached, where there's no judgment attached, where there's real help, real solutions, and it's not about fixing it right then and there, but it's always we can work on that. We can work on, and that's all folk need to hear in any realm of life.
That's right.
We can work on that. So we have to strip this stigma away from judging our people when they fall short, when they make mistakes. Because I know my first introduction to credit was my auntie using my credit.
See,
I wasn't even the first person that used my credit, right? And so we had to come back from that. But I didn't see anything wrong at the time because I felt like she needed it more than I did. I was
Correct.
17, 18 years old. It didn't matter to me.
Right.
But then when my 25-year-old self wanted to use my own credit, I was like, oh, Lord.
Right.
You know,
That's
it's
the
a problem.
truth. Yes.
Yes, but I feel like building that relationship and that rapport with the banking institution is so important.
Yeah.
So what steps should someone take when choosing a bank or credit union that fits their needs?
Yeah.
Because all needs are different.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I want to touch on something you said real quick.
Mhm.
So to show you the importance of having a financial checkup.
Yes.
So even myself, I've been in banking 20 years come this January, and I check my credit often.
Mhm.
There's, like you say, either through an app or having the physical report printed out. So in just checking mine just this week, I noticed that under one of the creditors that I have, it showed 2 months back of this year, it had an N and an R. So, but then and then shortly after that, then everything else had a C for being, paid on time. And so I called the 800 number, right, that's listed for that particular creditor, call and ask, hey, what's the N and the R for? And so
Did not report it?
So, right. So he called. So he put me on hold, and he came back and said they had a glitch in the system that they were not able to report the payment.
That sounds like a them problem.
Correct, but it wasn't going to be held against me. But they did want it to. It wasn't going to hold anything against me. But it wasn't going to
help you either.
Help me either.
No, there needs to be a C.
That's right.
not my
Come
fault.
on.
Yeah.
It took being intentional.
Yes.
It took being diligent about protecting your credit. If you see it, so many times we see things and we ignore the signs,
Mhm.
and we think, oh, I'll get to it, or we hear the no, and from there we will tell ourselves.
Mhm.
It's just not meant to be. I tried, and so I heard the first no, so I don't need to keep going. That's not true.
Right.
At Home Bank, we want to, when you hear the no, you should be automatically asking questions right behind it. What is the reason for the no? And it could be no more than, hey, we just need you to clean up this, or let us help you pay these. If you can get consecutive payments on here, then that looks better. Then let's come back and look at it.
I like in banking to go into the doctor. I'm telling you.
Yes.
A lot of folk are afraid of what the information is going to be.
Yes.
Like I'm just telling you, it's like you want to look at your credit, but then it's in a place that doesn't make you feel so
Yeah.
good because you don't want to do it. Just like going to the doctor.
Yeah.
You don't want them to say, "Oh, we found this,"
Yeah.
or let me tell you what this is.
So we don't wanna hear it.
I remember having a mammogram,
Mhm.
and the people took so long to call me back. I'm talking about I'm nervous
Yeah.
because if it wasn't anything, y'all would call me back. That's what's
Right.
going on in my
See?
mind. I ended up having to have a biopsy. Then I had to wait some more
Yeah.
and waiting. It came back benign, but just the
Yeah.
the fear of
Yeah.
it's like why
Yeah.
and when it's time for my mammogram now, it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
scary.
We're
It's
so
scary.
wrapped in trauma, Dr. Wyatt,
Yes.
that we carry it into all
Everything.
yes all sectors of our life, including banking.
Mhm.
And whether that was we were told no for a particular credit or a product or a loan, and so we just take it. It's not meant for. It just wasn't meant to be. That's not the case.
Mhm.
That's not where it is. We want you to hear what the reasons were behind it and try it again. Don't just stop.
So before you leave, I want you to tell the folk who are listening some of the services that are offered at Home Bank and why
Absolutely.
choose Home Bank.
Yes. So if you're going down the journey to becoming a homeowner, we have what we call the Home Access Mortgage product. That is a product where we not only wrap our arms around you going through the process, but it stays with us in-house. So that means you have us for the entire journey of that transaction
Mhm.
of becoming a homeowner. If you're hearing this and you're saying, well, my credit isn't high enough or where it needs to be, again, we have a product that will personally wrap around you to
Mhm.
get you to either build that credit or establish the credit. And we can go on and on from mortgage to credit to expanding or extending your first, like you were sharing about credit and having to how our families come into play.
Yes.
Our first access to credit sometimes is a credit card.
Yes.
And it's without any training, any understanding of how to use it, what you should be using it for. Again, we're inside of that building that you pass all the time that
Mhm.
has the bank Pete's name on there. Come inside. Hear this call that you should go in, take the time, and say, I want to sit down and talk about my plan on what I would like to do. With 5 weeks left in the year, it's not. We all know, Dr. White, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And so, if whatever it was you were pursuing, and you didn't achieve it this year, we still have time to just go over those things and prepare for 2025.
Listen, I couldn't have said it any better than that. Listen, that is Kelvin Lester, the VP of Home Bank, right? Like, I want to make certain that folk know, because I pass Home Bank every day going down Manhattan to my house, I get to see it, and it makes me remember to email you. But listen, this has been an incredible show. I want to thank our guest, Bishop T. Delbert Robinson from Nyron Sanders' home church, which is Greater St. Stephen, talking about their 2024 turkey drive, as well as our partners over at Delgado, talking about all the wonderful programming that they're offering in their workforce development. And right now, in studio right now, is the Kelvin Lester talking about all the initiatives Home Bank have to help you, not only if you have to repair your credit. If you're looking for a home, talking about that home access mortgage.
Come on.
It's all kinds of wonderful things. And I feel like if you go in the bank, you might get a goodie or two. So check them out, y'all. But I want you to stay right here. I'm going to invite y'all to the front porch with Graylin and Kimber. This is WBOK 1230 a.m. And please do not forget, early voting started 2-day runs until November 30th from 8:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. I am your host, Dr. Ashanta Wyatt. See y'all next week.
Let's get it.